Sunday talk with Mikael Avatar. Today is the subject of life path. Why do we end up where we ending up? Which shoes did we take to end up where we are? So that's my talk today. I don't feel so good today. We had an incident yesterday, so I'm very sad. Most of our chicken were killed and one dog was killed. So I'm very sad. So I'm not so excited. I want to say you so you understand. Maybe it's not this positive action that I normally have. So why do we end up where we are ending up in life? If that hadn't happened, where should I have gone? Who knows? So if my father hadn't beat my mother, maybe I was not born cerebral palsy, maybe I didn't go to the Olympic. Who knows? There is some critical changes I have done in my life where I can see that the path I choose took me here where I am today in Thailand. Since I was born in Sweden, the live shows is mostly of the big ones. They are in Sweden. So this is the story Sunday Talk with Mikael Avatar. When I finished school after 12 years, you go in Sweden, you go 9 years to go out in school or whatever, and then you have like high school, I'm not too sure, and then you have college. I don't know the English names. I choose robotic NC operator, so I can program robots. I don't know what's the English word. And I was going to university, but they threw me out. So there were I think I was 18 or 19 years old. What should I do now? They don't let me into the higher education. They throw me out. The only thing they said that the sponsors of the school did not allow me because I had cerebral palsy. They could give me another higher education in a different school if I upgrade some mathematics, physics, and chemistry. So I started upgrading this mathematics, physics, chemistry. I read double courses for nearly 1 year, so I could come into civil engineering or whatever they were giving me. And I was nearly finished. I studied like hell. I mean, double chemistry, double physics, double mathematics. I did like 3-year course in 1 year. So then I got the possibility to cross the Atlantic Ocean. There was this boat in New York that was going to. First, there was this boat going around the world. Gorbachev and Ronald Reagan should be on this boat to give peace for people with cerebral palsy, whatever. That didn't happen. So there was this other guy who took over. So we crossed the Atlantic Ocean under UN flag in 1988. So I jumped on this thing um, because I thought, if I can't go to what school I want, how should they employ me? That's not even possible. So I crossed the Atlantic, came home, and I thought, what should I do now? So I still had the dream of going to the Olympic. I think I was 19 or 18 years old. I'm not sure. And I started training for the Olympic because somebody told me there was like Paralympic, and so 88, I must have been 20 years old. Then I came in the national team quite quickly because I had talent and was well trained. I wanted to go to this elite school, so I applied for this sports elite school in Sweden. I didn't come in, so I had to do some more work. So I did. I was a swim teacher for 1 year to get the right qualification for this elite school, and then I had orienteering. I don't know what that is in English. Is when you hold a map and you run in the woods and stamp. Um, I have no clue of the English word for this. So I worked at the orienteering club in Sweden, I think 1 year or 1.5 years. And then I came into the school, the sports school. And I remember the first day I was there was, I think, 23 in our class, and 21 was in the national team. So this was quite an egocentric uh, sport class, different sports. Um, um, and I remember the first day, what? We should have lessons. I thought we should like train 24-hour rounds, but that wasn't it. So we had some free time for training, but most of it was study, psychology, different sports, whatever. So I went there 2 years. Um, I didn't qualify for the Olympic no, 92 in Barcelona. I told about part of that story last Sunday when we went to Algeria. Very good story if you want to listen to it. And so there I was, 92. I had 4 years to my next Olympic. So what should I do? So what I did, I remember, let's see how much I can train in 1 week. What's possible to train in 1 week? So I got this well-paid work. For me, it was well-paid, but at that time, I was living in a small house, very beautiful house on a hill. I did my rock climbing. Nearby, I climbed rocks and crawled to caves. Could do it all day. I even did a pop movie there. It was my favorite place for me to go and take people crawling this rocky thing. And I run every morning, train every morning. and I got this assignment to take out the dog every day. So I walk like 2 kilometers, and then I walk with the dog maybe 5 kilometers, and then back to home. So I constantly were moving my body for like 100 hours a week. That was a piece of cake. So I thought, oh, let's try 110. And then after week 120. So where is the limit for how much I can train in 1 week? So I came up with this number, 142 hours. This is 168 hours in a week. So I could train for 142 hours. And I did that for 3 months. Then I collapsed, but that's a different story. But I knew I could train 142 hours for a very long time, at least a month, without a problem. That was a good insight, because when I trained the last 3 months before the Olympic in Atlanta, Paralympic in Atlanta, we train about 60, 70, 80 hours a week. I knew I could train 60, 70 more hours. So you understand, if I haven't done this experiment, when all the other people were tired, I knew in my head I had 50 more hours, 60 more hours. So it was a piece of cake. So I've done a lot of crazy experiments in my life. Another one was the year before Olympic. Sweden is not so hot compared to Atlanta, and the humidity is not so high as in Atlanta. So I need to practice training drinking water, because you have to have water in the system. So I drank, now I don't remember. If you drink more than 11, 12 liter, I think that's 2.5 gallons a day, you can kill yourself. So there is a limit how much water you can drink. But I think I drank at least 1.5 gallons a day to learn to drink water. I did this whole summer, 3 months. So before I came to Atlanta, I had no problem drinking 7-8 liters per 24 hour, because I had practiced this stuff. So after Olympic, I told about the Olympic in previous movies. I'm not gonna tell that story today. I came home. My sports career ended kind of because I had an injury 3-4 months before the Olympic. I was injured, but I just continued training. It's what you do when you are on that level. You kind of block out your pain and continue as nothing have happened. And so I did some operation. Since I was on the top level, I get past the queue for operation and whatever. I did some private operations and a lot of crazy stuff that normal people, they don't do this stuff. But my career ended. So what should I do now? I have done some public speaking. I opened my company, so I did some public speaking, running around, eh, mostly in Sweden, but some abroad too. Uh, this was in 19, so there was like kind of no people doing this. And some people even said to me, you mean you stand in front of people and they pay you to talk? That's crazy. Seriously, many people told me you can't do that. It's only professors and high up ranking people who can do that, and they can't get paid for it. That's what they told me. But I survived with my company, uh, and uh, I did some one-on-one coaching. I have done one-on-one coaching like 40 years at least, maybe even more. Um, so that was my work. I did some research for um, a research lab in sports and so on, but I left that and started a new path in a new city. And it took me several years to figure out where do I want to go, what do I want to create with all the stuff I have experienced, where do I want to, what do I want to achieve. Uh, I didn't have a family, so I started dating some women, and some went well, some went really bad. I get really sad, and I was fooled and whatever. Yeah, but then I ended up in a small town in Sweden where I find my place. I worked with a woman. I had done a video with her in her company doing public speaking courses. I coach people even more. I started to get kind of known, uh, interviews for different papers. Uh, Even TV called me once, but I wasn't in Sweden at the time, and they didn't want to record it, so I uh, I have been on American TV when I crossed the Atlantic, but Swedish TV, I'm not sure, but it doesn't matter. But my body was cramping. I had pain. I have really, really pain every day because when you're shaking, so I need to go abroad to release the pain. And 2009, I think, I ended up here in Thailand, and I was pain free. So a couple months later, I decided to move here, and try to live here in Thailand because I was pain free. And when you start in another continent, you have to adapt to the system. And the first 2 to 3 years, I wanted to really find out what 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 do I really want to do in my life. So it takes a lot of process to change path in your life, uh, and choose a different path, a different direction, uh, and come up with totally new solutions where you want to go. Uh, it's kind of, it's not easy to do. Um, I listen to a lot of people who lived here, who have lived here many years. Uh, I listen to what they have to say. Uh, I understood it quite quick that it takes like 2-3 years before you really can adapt to the situation uh, where you are. Uh, don't get involved with the people who come here 2-3 months a year. They are kind of living on other planet. There's so much stuff that you have to figure out when you leave your home country. Some is very easy. Many people you meet, they are fleeing from life in a different country. Maybe they have a criminal record. I have no clue. But there is some very dangerous people here. Uh, some people, they are fleeing from living life, but I wasn't doing that. I came here because I had pain. It was too cold in my home country, so I wasn't fleeing from my life. I had to create a new one where I was pain free. So after 5-6 years, I think I got quite um, control of what I wanted to create. So I started this new life with creating music, creating art like this one, uh, start filming, starting making YouTube videos. Uh, Live streaming didn't exist, kind of exist, but there was nobody doing it. Um, this was 2015, 16, something like that. I started to do websites for people and all kind of stuff because I have a technical background. I I program robotics, Even they threw me out. I was quite good at mathematics and programming. So programming a website compared to a robot, quite simply, quite simple compare. Uh, so I've always been fascinated about technical stuff. So I still do websites and um, uh, traffic analyze and uh, but what I like most is a new person to come to me. Uh, they want to go that life path, and they need like a step-by-step plan. Um, uh, and together we do this step-by-step plan, and then we implement the plan in their life and all the roadblocks and everything they have to go through to get wherever they want to go in their life. I mean, that's exciting to be part of. Some I have never met in my whole life. That we start to do this journey together. Uh, most most of the time is at least 6 months to 1 year, some even 2 years. Um, I have people even 5-10 years that follow me around uh, over the years, and it's fascinating. I'm fascinating of following people and see how they're thinking and how they solve their everyday problem. I can give them tools and so on, but mostly it's broaden their way of thinking that excites me. So this is, I don't know if this story make any sense at all. I, I try to tell a story. Some part you have heard before, some you have not. But life choices, um, some come up and you chose that way. Um, and you just follow along. 10, 15 years ago, when I did a lot of coaching, most of the people come to me. I ask them, why do you end up where you are right now? They have no clue. They have no idea. They have no, they can't see the picture clearly. What shows they have. You know, I met my wife and we have a child and we moved to this house and one after one went here. Uh, Same with women. Oh, I met my husband and we have a child and we moved to a house. Same story. But they haven't chosen the way. It's like it appears. Uh, I choose to train to the Olympics. I choose to train water 1 year before the Olympics. I choose to climb mountains. I choose to train 142 hours because I prepare for the Olympic. I choose to move to Thailand because I was cramp free. There is a story why it's Thailand and not India or whatever, but I will not talk about that today. There is a path. So either you can like follow alone, follow whatever life is taking you, or you can stop and start thinking, where do I want to go? Where do I want to end up? What do I want to achieve? What gets me to be happy? What gets me to be sad? Can I choose? That's kind of the question I'm telling myself. And then I try to get picture. Some people can't even see pictures. They have to use other techniques, feelings, colors, even mathematics. I have met people, they only think in numbers. Seriously, the whole world is all in numbers. But you can still choose what number you should have. Um, it's very fascinating to talk to these people because I don't think in my life in numbers. And I learn a lot from those people. I learn a lot from all the people I have coached over the years to see how they think in their world and what possibilities there are. And by that, I can see, wow, they think like that. Can I use that in my life? And it's a double effect when you follow people for a long time and they give you views that I couldn't imagine in my life. So this is my Sunday talk, 6 June 2021. I hope you enjoy this Sunday talk. Next Sunday there will be a new one. I have no clue what I'm talking about next Sunday, but tomorrow I will have a new subject. It's Monday, and take care of your duty today.